All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I am Tanvi Taneja. The headlines. ISRO places 2 British satellites into orbit aboard PSLV C-42. Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulates scientists for demonstrating India's prowess in competitive space business. Prime Minister to begin a 2-day visit to Varanasi today to inaugurate and lay foundation stone for various projects. Vice President Venkaiah Naidu says India is moving towards a formal economy with systematic reforms. Home Minister Rajnath Singh to inaugurate pilot project of smart fencing along the Indo-Pak border in Jammu today. Super typhoon Mangkhut hits China's Guangdong province, forcing evacuation of over 24 lakh people. And in sports, world champion Kevin Mayer sets a new world record in decathlon at Thelons in France. Indian Space Research Organisation ISRO successfully launched PSLV C-42 from Sriharikota last night and put 2 British Earth observation satellites into orbit. The NovaSAR and S-14 satellites were put into sun-synchronous orbit just over 17 minutes after liftoff. The 44.4 meters launch vehicle, weighing 230.4 tons, blasted off at 10:08 p.m. from the Satish Dhawan Space Centre. Speaking to media persons after the launch, ISRO chairman Dr. K. Sivan said,
I am extremely happy to announce PSLV C-42 precisely placed 2 of our customer satellites, NovaSAR and S-14, in 583 km orbit. This unique night mission is mainly for getting ascending node daytime launch. That way, it's the first time we have executed a different kind of mission altogether.
The NovaSAR satellite is intended for forest mapping, land use, and ice cover monitoring, flood and disaster monitoring. S-14 will be used for surveying resources, environment monitoring, urban management and for the disaster monitoring. Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated ISRO scientists for the successful launch. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said that by putting 2 UK satellites into orbit, ISRO has demonstrated India's prowess in the competitive space business. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be on a 2-day visit to his parliamentary constituency, Varanasi, from today. During his visit, Mr. Modi will inaugurate and lay the foundation stone for development projects worth more than 500 crore rupees. More from our correspondent.
Varanasi is all set to welcome its parliamentarian and Prime Minister Narendra Modi on his 60th birthday. This will be the first birthday of Mr. Narendra Modi that he will spend in his constituency. After reaching Varanasi this afternoon, PM will visit Naruar village of Rohania area, where he will interact with children of a primary school headed by non-profit organization Room to Read and will inaugurate a library there. Later, he will interact with the students of Kashi Vidyapeeth and children assisted by them on the premises of Diesel Locomotive Works DLW. Mr. Modi will spend the evening by watching a 32-minute film called Chalo Jeete Hain with his school children. Tomorrow, the Prime Minister will inaugurate or lay the foundation stone of various development projects worth more than 500 crores. To mark PM's birthday, medical camps will be set up at 68 locations across the district. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Varanasi.
President Ramnath Kovind has greeted Prime Minister Narendra Modi on his birthday. In his message, Mr. Kovind wished him a long life and many years of dedicated service to the people of the country. Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh will inaugurate the pilot project of smart fencing along the Indo-Pak international border in Jammu today. The pilot project of smart fencing features will virtually make it impossible for the terrorists to breach and infiltrate into the Indian territory and has been installed at 2 places along the international border. More from our correspondent.
The Union Home Minister will reach BSF headquarters at Paloda in Jammu in the morning and after formally launching the initiative taken by the force as a part of the comprehensive integrated border management system there, hold high-level review of situation prevailing along the international border in Jammu region with top brass of BSF. The pilot projects of smart fencing features which will virtually make it impossible for the terrorists to breach it and infiltrate into the Indian territory have been installed at two places along the international border in Jammu. Yogesh Sharma, AIR News, Jammu.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has said that India is moving towards a formal economy with systematic reforms. Addressing Indian diaspora at Floriana in Malta yesterday evening, Mr. Naidu said that economic reforms are also making the country an inclusive society. The Vice President said,
"The number of economic reforms have been undertaken by Indian government, including digitization of the economy, financial inclusion, tax reforms like goods and service tax. More than 326 million persons have opened bank accounts in the last 4 years, marking financial inclusion a reality."
Mr. Naidu said India considers the entire world as a large family and it believes in the share and care philosophy. The Vice President said India never attacked any country and it wants to live in harmony with all. Mr. Naidu reached Malta yesterday evening on the second leg of his three-nation tour to Serbia, Malta and Romania. Our correspondent has filed this report.
Vice President is to hold delegation-level talks with the President of Malta, Marie-Louise Colero-Preca, and witness signing of MOUs on mutual cooperation today. He will participate in a meeting with the Speaker of the House of Representatives of Malta, Dr. Anglu Farugia. Mr. Naidu will also hold delegation-level talks with the Acting Prime Minister of Malta, Evariste Bartolo. Later in the evening, the Vice President is scheduled to attend India-Malta Business Forum meeting, where President of Malta shall also participate. Vijiten Dwivedi's report from Floriana, Tripti Srivastav, AIR News.
Haryana police arrested 3 men, including one of the prime accused, Nishu, in connection with the alleged gang rape of a young woman of Rewari. Mewat SP Nazneen Bhasin confirmed this while talking to reporters in Rewari yesterday. She said raids are continuing across several states to nab the other 2 key accused. Earlier, DGP B.S. Sandhu said 2 other men, Dr. Sanjeev, who first attended the woman following the crime, and Deen Dayal, on whose property she was allegedly raped, were also arrested. The 19-year-old woman, a meritorious student from Rewari, was abducted from a bus stop in Kanina town in neighbouring Mahendragarh district on last Wednesday when she was on her way to a coaching class. Police said she was allegedly drugged and gang-raped in an agricultural field. Today is Vishwakarma Jayanthi. It is a day of celebration for Vishwakarma, who is considered the divine architect and carpenter. The festival is observed primarily in factories and industrial areas by worshipping of tools and refraining from using them while doing so. The Prime Minister has greeted the people on the occasion of Vishwakarma Jayanthi. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said, "From the deity of construction and sculpture, we all get constant inspiration for new creations and novelty." The central government launched the Beti Bachao Beti Padhao scheme in January 2015 to check the decline in girl-child ratio. Nayagarh in Odisha is among the districts where the scheme was implemented first. We have a ground report from our Sambalpur correspondent.
After implementation of the Beti Bachao Beti Padhao scheme, the situation has changed. There has been an increase in the sex ratio at birth, particularly in identified 55 villages. Singrapalli village of Odogaon block, which had the lowest child sex ratio of 468 in 2011, reached 871 after 2 years of implementation of Prime Minister's Girl Child Protection Scheme. Supriti, who works in the sector, narrates.
Mamina is a 13-year-old bright student continuing in class 8. Her father is a daily wage laborer and illiterate. Mamina's father decided to get her married. A strong-willed Mamina adamantly rebelled against her father's decisions as she was keen on continuing her study. After prolonged persuasion and assurance of financial assistance under Beti Bachao Beti Padhao scheme, Mamina's parents gave a commitment that he would not arrange his daughter's marriage till she attains 18 years of age. Now Mamina is continuing her studies.
Noyagarh district has set an example and done commendable work in all the prescribed aspects under Beti Bachao Beti Padhao plan of the government. This is SN Patnaik for AIR News from Sambalpur.
Super typhoon Mangkhut slammed into China's southern Guangdong province yesterday evening, killing 2 persons and forcing evacuation of over 24 lakh people. The typhoon made a landfall into the coast of Jiangmen city in Guangdong province yesterday evening, packing winds up to 162 kilometers per hour after leaving a trail of destruction in Hong Kong and killed at least 64 people in the Philippines. State broadcaster CGTN reported that 2 people were killed in Guangdong province, which is located close to Hong Kong, where over 200 people were injured. Earlier, more than 400 flights at 2 airports in China's southernmost island province of Hainan were cancelled, and all coastal resorts and schools were closed. In the United States, death toll from Hurricane Florence has risen to at least 16 after it landed in North Carolina on Friday and brought record rainfall. The storm drenched North Carolina with yet more downpours yesterday, cutting off the city of Wilmington, damaging tens of thousands of homes and threatening worse flooding as rivers filled to bursting point. In sports, world champion Kevin Mayer set a new world record in the decathlon with 9,126 points at the Decaster event in Thelons, France yesterday. World champion and Olympic silver medalist Mayer surpassed previous older American Ashton Eaton's 9,045 points recorded at the 2015 World Championships in Beijing. The 26-year-old Frenchman has become just the 3rd decathlete to surpass the mythical 9,000-point barrier. World champion weightlifter Mirabai Chanu's coach Vijay Sharma and well-known cricket coach Tarak Sinha are among those recommended by a selection committee for the prestigious Dronacharya and Dhyan Chand Awards. The committee, which met in New Delhi under the chairmanship of Justice Mukul Mudgal, recommended Vijay Sharma, boxing coach C.A. Kuttappa and Srinivas Rao, table tennis, for the Dronacharya Regular Award. And now for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to Subhadra Ramachandran.
Thank you, Tanvi. The newspapers today have keenly tracked the assessments within major political parties ahead of the Lok Sabha elections next year on their front pages. The Hindu highlights JDU BJP seat sharing talks for 2019 poll in final stage. The paper writes, Nitish Kumar's party assured of 15 seats out of 40 in Bihar. Kishore, BJP's poll strategist in 2014, joins Nitish's JDU is a front-page headline in the DNA. The Asianate has quoted Bahujan Samaj Party chief Mayawati as saying, "We'll go it alone if no respectable deal for BSP." The paper calls it a jolt to talks for the opposition alliance, snubbing the Bhim Army founder Chandrasekhar Azad. The Tribune quotes Mayawati as saying, "I'm no Bhim Army chief's bua." The Hindustan Times speculates that the alliance between the Congress and the Telugu Desam party in Telangana would be a prelude to the 2 parties joining hands in Andhra Pradesh. Telangana tie-up could herald Andhra alliance, headlines the paper. Highlighting the serious discrepancies in Telangana's electoral rolls, the DNA writes, Telangana draft list has 48 lakh duplicate voters. Several papers have highlighted the political uncertainty in Goa after Chief Minister Manohar Parrikar was admitted to AIIMS last Saturday night. Parrikar in AIIMS, Goa and ICU, headlines the Pioneer. BJP rules out leadership change in Goa, says Parrikar is fine, writes the Statesman. SMS, WhatsApp can't canvass for votes at night, headlines the Pioneer. The paper writes that the Election Commission has banned political parties and contesting candidates from making calls and SMSs on social media, including WhatsApp, between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. during campaign. And finally, the Hindustan Times reports BIMSTEC to launch ambitious land, air, sea transport plan. The paper writes that the connectivity master plan would boost the economic progress of the entire region and bolster faster trade linkages. With that, it's back to you, Tanvi.
Thank you, Subhadra. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. ISRO places 2 British satellites into orbit aboard PSLV C-42. Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulates scientists for demonstrating India's prowess in competitive space business. Prime Minister to begin a 2-day visit to Varanasi today to inaugurate and lay foundation stone for various projects. Vice President Venkaiah Naidu says India is moving towards a formal economy with systematic reforms. Home Minister Rajnath Singh to inaugurate pilot project of smart fencing along the Indo-Pak border in Jammu today. And in sports, world champion Kevin Mayer sets a new world record in decathlon at Thelons in France. And with that we end the morning news. Have a nice day.